Because you are new, probably I'll give you a minute for you to introduce yourself, Manjari.
Hello, everyone. I have a background in finance, and like Elizabeth, I have recently completed a certificate course in fintech from University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies, and I am actively job hunting and would like to be part of any projects that would, enhance the skills that I have learned through my course.
Okay, this is really good. Welcome. But do you know anything on programming? No?
We did programming in Python uh, in the course that I attended.
In Testoper or the outside course, you mean?
Sorry?
So we also conducted Python training in Testoper. So I was wondering, did you attend Testoper?
No, not this one. Not this one. No.
Okay, good. All right. Anyone else is new today? No. Great. Okay. Perfect. So let's go through the usual stuff. First of all, I wanted to tell you guys, right? We have applied for some support for this program to be provided by government, so that we can take this to the next level. So currently we have like 3 teams. Consistently, we have 12 to 15 people attending this program. And we wanted to increase the number of attendees and more people. So we needed support from government, and also we needed Brampton, the city of Brampton, and we also needed support from some corporates like Cognizant, who can come in and help us to mentor and develop, right? So that work is ongoing now. And I can tell you that before end of April, we might have some good news from both the activities that we are trying to do. So that should increase our number of attendees into this program, and we should do better in this program than what we are today. First of all, I wanted to thank every one of you to continuously be part of this program and supporting this Testoper project program. Okay, and then the second thing that I wanted to talk to you all about is, so we have been together for 3 months now, and what action that we took last time was, so for those who are new, Manjari, you're new, right? So we have formed in Testoper we do lots of programs. Okay, you can go to the Eventbrite and you look at it. We do masterclass in artificial intelligence, and we do codathons, we do hackathons, and a lot of different things that we do. And Testoper community is run by all of us, meaning it's a volunteer-led community, right? It's a non-profit, volunteer-led community. It's not a for-profit, and we all want to come together, learn together, and grow together. That's all is the intention of this community. And we focus on technology aspects of it. And at the same time, we need experts like you who are domain experts, can help the software developers to come together, build a team, and develop innovative products. That's where you all can add more value. So in this particular program, this program is called as Testoper Projects. So here the goal of this program is twofold: train everyone to become entrepreneurs, right? It's a 1-year program, started on Jan, it will go on till November, every Friday 6 to 7. So in every week we learn something that can make you become an expert and an entrepreneur over the period of time. And then the second thing that we do is we try to make groups. Right now we have 3 teams led by 3 people. Right, Sandra cannot attend today because she had some other engagement, and we have 2 other leads like Fian, and also we have Greg, who are building the teams, making friends, coming together, learning, trying to come up with an idea and building some projects and products. You never know, they can become sometime an entrepreneur and a millionaire. They can give me some job, right? So that's what I'm expecting it to happen over the period of time. Provide all the skills that are required for you to get there. And then if you consistently try, you will one day become very successful. That's the thought process. And that's what this Testoper project is all about. So the first section of our project, this 1 hour that normally we do is, first 15 to 20 minutes, we talk about three teams, and then the remaining 30 minutes we learn something together. So today it's a special day where we wanted teams to share about their experience, that they gained and what they learned since last 3 months. 5 minutes each. That's what we kind of decided in our last meeting. So I just wanted to check with Fian, Greg, and someone from Sandra's team. Are you guys ready for that to present today?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're ready, Greg? Okay, let's go with you then, right? What was the questions that we agreed on? Let me see. There was something in the chat last time.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. So what you were supposed to be talking today is what we have learned as individual and as a team.
yeah.
What was learned helped achieve whatever we have achieved so far, and
Yeah.
what are all the challenges that we faced and how we solve those challenges, and what is the plan for the next 9 months, right? You as an individual, Greg, and for your team. So I'll let you to share the screen and then share with us
No,
your experience.
yeah. No, I didn't make a presentation. I'll just talk through my points. I
Sure,
just
go ahead, go
made my
ahead.
points. I'll talk through them. So I wasn't in the meeting last week. I saw other engagements. Thanks to Ash who shared the points with us on the team. So I'll start with the first question. It says what we've learned as an individual and as a team. Now, the first thing for me, individual as a person, is that I can do hard things, right? Joining Testoper projects, it was a new thing. The whole idea of joining Testoper projects was to learn something new, right? I was interested in learning automation. My day job is working as a business intelligence analyst, so I wanted to add QA skills to that. But having joining this project, having to think like an entrepreneur, it became something new, you know. So what I've learned as a person is that I can do hard things. And as a team, we all can do hard things. That as an individual, as a team, we'll face challenges as we build, as we collaborate, as we build ourselves, as we go throughout this process, as we go throughout this journey, we'll face challenges. And a lot of times we're going to get rejections, right? So, but rejection is not the end of the world. Rejection should spur us to action. It should help us to do more and achieve more. So that is what I've learned, and I know we've learned as a team. Now, the second question says, how what we've learned help us achieve what has been achieved, and we should list the achievement. So, firstly, with the help of my team and with the help of our mentor, big shout out to Fahan. We've been able to streamline our focus and to focus on the market segment. We were able to achieve that during our last team meeting. Choose choose a particular market segment we want to focus. We have our project is talking about labor market, right? So the how the job of the future would look like. So we, during our thought process, through our discussions, through our brainstorming, we talked about different segmentations like the student segmentation, the employee, employers, institutes, and all that. But we've been able to streamline and choose one market segmentation to focus, which is a very big achievement. We had stalled in the past, so we couldn't get past this, but we were able to achieve that with the collaborative effort of our team and our mentor. And we now know, team members that show up consistently. We know team members that are pushing the boundaries, team members that are having this growth mindsets to be innovative no matter the obstacles. So, which is quite good. Yeah, the third question says, what are the challenges that we've faced past and present, and how we've solved them or not solved them? Now, I'll talk about the challenges first. Um, some of the challenges where team members began to leave, right? People began to leave as maybe they had different priorities. So our team became smaller and smaller. Initially, when we started, we had a lot of people. Then it became smaller and smaller, and having to get new people, that was a challenge. And people were not showing up consistently on a regular basis to team meetings, which was a challenge. And you can't do everything. You can do so much. we had lack of motivation to continue the projects. Should we go with this project or not? What are we going to do? That was a challenge. Not getting timely feedback when we give feedback, when we give homework, everybody go research. Not getting those timely feedback. This stores, stores your growth, stores your progress. Right? It was a challenge, and also lack of decision making to get things done. That was a challenge, but we're able to press forward, move forward. I don't know if you note, we tried because of all these challenges, we try to look for ways to resolve these challenges, like collaborating with other team members and merging our teams for teams that we thought might have this same challenge, but at the end of the day, we didn't merge. We said, let's push it on, let's do it, we can do it. So with one of the solutions we found with our team is that we know people who show up on a regular basis, people who show up consistently, and people who are ready to get this project going forward. So another way we were able to solve this problem is that we let team members brainstorm on ideas, contribute the ideas that bring about positive change, and we started giving timelines for decision making, which was good to help us push to the next line of action. And when we do our meetings, we always have an agenda. So when we're closing the meeting today, we always set up an agenda that's for the next meeting. So like an action plan. So what are we going to do during the week? And what are we going to talk about when we meet in the next meeting? And we also refine our ideas with our mentors. Like I know I reach out to you and say, if we could have a steady mentor that is dedicated to a particular team, it will be good for every team so that mentors don't split their time. You said you will help us with that. So those are some of the solutions. And finally, what is our plan for the next 9 months? Now, the first thing is to get the appropriate skills and training needed for our projects. A lot of us have different skills that we need. We also need to learn new skills. It's a continuous learning process. So we need to get those appropriate skills and training. So with the last meeting we had with the operations, they were talking about providing Git training, Linux training, and some other trainings, which is good. And another one is we're trying to carry out some surveys and get feedback from our customer segment. We're currently working on that to know if the projects or the market segment we're choosing will be go or no go. We're doing that, and we also try to distribute tasks among team members. For example, if we're going to be building a project, what are the different tasks different people will be working on? For example, is it going to be front end, back end, databases, and all that, and getting those skills that will help us. And finally, one of the plan is to get maybe new members to join, members that can act as analysts that can help us refine our business requirements. These are just some of the plans we have. I don't want to take too much time. That is it.
Okay. Greg, I'll ask you something. Just to rewind your life 3 months ago, sometime like December 2020. And in this last 3 months, whatever that you shared with us now, without joining Testoper, would you have had an opportunity to learn all these things?
Without joining Testoper, I wouldn't have. I belong to other groups, but Testoper helps you refine ideas and helps you to think critically and logically, which I really appreciate. That's why I show up every day for Testoper. If I'm busy, I tell people I'm busy, I will not be able to make it. And what I've learned for the past 3 months has been great. The IBM skill build that you introduced to us is really wonderful. Those materials, getting to know them, it's really great. So I'm happy with the Testoper community, and it's really helping me as an individual. I know it's also helping my team members too, and everybody at large.
Yeah, this is really good, Greg. See, it's not about Testoper community. The reason that I asked you that question is about you, right, Greg? So if you have improved your skills from 3 months ago to now, with the opportunity that presented in front of you by the Testoper, it's a great achievement, right? So that's the most important thing, because it's all about you. You have developed the skills. Your team has developed the skills. Because the end of the day, Testoper is all about us, me, you, and everyone. The way that you were explaining, and I was thinking about, you have in 3 months, what you have learned is enormous, right? You know how to deal with the teams. See, if you pay someone, it's easy to get the job done, but you are actually building a team, everyone is volunteer, and you're trying to take this to the next level is something that is amazing. And if you can do it this way, develop your team and build a small project, which is even like, simple thing by end of this year, I think that's a great achievement from my view. And next year you will be full-fledged to start your own company and form your own team. Trust me. And I'm looking forward to that day, Greg.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Perfect. Now let's see. Fian, do you have? Are you prepared to do it today? If you're not prepared, you can always do it next week. But let me know.
Hi, Kadar. Oh, okay. Actually, for my team, Gautami is gonna do the presentation and talk about the questions that were asked last week. But
Okay.
for me as a person and maybe for the whole team, we've learned a lot in Testoper. I remember when I joined, I mentioned I had a background in engineering and project management. So for me in particular, Testoper has given me the opportunity to think like an entrepreneur and like know how to start companies and think about products in general. But for the particular questions about what we've learned so far, I'm going to hand over the floor to Gautami to do a little bit of presentation on what we've learned so far. So Gautami is going to talk about all we've learned and like what we plan to do in the next 9 months. So.
Perfect. Gautami, you have something to share the screen, or are you just going to speak out?
Yes, Kader, I'll be sharing my screen now.
Perfect. I saw someone new joined, Samuel. Can you identify yourself, Samuel?
Yes. On I think this week. So I'm not too sure how far you guys are, but I'm currently studying computer engineering major. So I've done some machine learning, and I'm still looking like to get better, so trying to get some hands-on experience on AI. So that's basically.
So, are you attending our AI masterclass program that's happening on Saturday?
Yeah, I joined.
Okay, good. So, Samuel, we have three leaders here, right? Greg, Sandra, and Sandra did not join today, and Fian. So the same thing for you also, Manjari, right? You can join one of the team members. So all the three leaders, remember, right? Two new people we have. Talk to them and share your project. And if they are interested to join you to build that project, please do that, depending upon the interest. End of the day, what I wanted to really share with you, Manjari and Samuel, is we are trying to learn the entrepreneurship, build some projects, and deliver, and develop our skills. And those who successfully do it, in the end, we will also provide from the Testoper a certificate. All our programs are free. A Testoper certificate that you came together, you build the team, you build this project, and you have a real world experience of building this together as a team, right? So we will give some kind of a letter to you guys if you do this successfully, right? Which will help you with your career and things like that. Samuel, you are new, so I don't think you have a collab. You are into our Microsoft Teams collaboration platform. It's like a Slack. So if you are interested, you can send your first name, last name, email address, and our guys will add you into that. So having said that, without taking further time, let's bring Gautami, the second team members, and share their idea, share the answer to the questions, what they have learned since last 3 months. Let's go ahead, Gautami.
Can you see my screen?
I'm gonna send my name now.
Sure, thanks, Samuel. Go ahead, Gautami.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank Kader and my team for providing me this opportunity. So in this session, we are going to see like what did we as a team learn from the Testoper project and what we learned as an individual as well. Next, we'll see our achievements and then the challenges that we have faced, followed by the next steps. So initially, when we joined the team, we didn't know much about product development or management. But now we have learned a lot of terminologies and the concepts which we have to know to become an entrepreneur, like what is a product line, product portfolio, and the different stages of product management, like new product planning, new product introduction, as well as the post product management phases. Along with this, we also learned about like what is meant by leadership. Leadership is all about creating influence within the team and helping others, going out of the way to help the team members, including the team in everything we do. Next, we also learned about like what is meant by teaming. Teaming is nothing but getting the team together to achieve a particular goal or a desired target. Inside teaming, we learned about like what is RACI matrix, what is SWOT analysis. So we also learned that research is a very important aspect of continuous learning. And for anything, if we don't know the answer, we need to do continuous research so that we get the answer. So research is really important. And we also learned about like how we should focus on identifying the social problems. So now let's see how all this learning has helped our skilling team. Initially, when we started the project, we started with the skill analysis, but down the line, we were encouraged to try to develop a new product based on the social real life problems that we have. So what we did as a team was every team member took some time to analyze what are the real life problems that we are facing and come up with an idea to solve that particular problem so that we can serve the people around us. So every team member, we came up with an idea, and we also had a discussion on like what are the different pros and cons of each and every idea. We discussed on the risks associated with each and every idea. We also did an analysis of what are the current competitors which are available for this current idea. So along the line, as a team, we were able to communicate with each other, develop a good rapport with each other, and have a good understanding, because ours is a very diverse team, and we were able to share each other's opinions and ideas in a very healthy manner without much argument. It was a healthy disagreement that we had. So after a lot of discussions and with the help of Farhan's mentoring, we were able to choose one idea. That new idea is like we wanted to develop a software product which will help us to create a platform so that we connect the needers as well as the helpers. So for example, I'm a working person and I don't have the time to do a particular work in my home, like household work or to walk my dog. In that case, I would use this platform to post that I need some help for providing this service in exchange for money. So in that case, a needer would contact me saying that he will be able to provide that service for a specific amount of money. So we are trying to develop that kind of platform to help all the working people, the senior citizens, as well as the normal community, so that it helps everyone in their day-to-day activities. This is the idea that we have evolved so far, and currently we are in the concept phase of this idea. So we want to analyze like how much value will our product add to our customers, and will our customers be using our product. And for that we have prepared a survey, but we haven't conducted it yet. So the challenges that we'll be facing are like we need a broader range of audience for conducting the survey, like people with different backgrounds from different communities and for different age groups. so that the result will help us to assess how much our product will be useful for everyone. And another challenge which we are facing was like finding a suitable time so that everyone is available for a meeting. But later we came up with a suitable time for our team, and like we were also using the chat group for having frequent discussions and sessions, etc. The next challenge that we have is like, though all of our team members are willing to learn the new tools and languages, we still need a subject matter expert to tell us like what is the right approach to take and what frameworks we need to use. And most of our team members are also not familiar with the GitHub. So to answer the next steps, like we are planning that we would be able to progress with our product and develop a useful product which will be useful for all the people to solve their problems. So thank you so much, everyone.
Gautami, a wonderful presentation, right? So one of the takeaway for me in your presentation is you don't need to know everything to do something, right? And if you have a mindset of a destiny, right? Or in other words, if you have a mindset of to do something, to achieve something, even though you don't have anything or have knowledge, resources, people, material, whatever, to achieve your target, it is okay. You can figure that out to achieve your target. This is my takeaway from your presentation. And when you are presenting, that's what was going in my mind, right? You guys started as a team. See, what's the fun for me to bring in someone who already knows all the things and they make them entrepreneur? What's the fun? There is no fun for me, right? For me, the fun is the people who don't know anything about it and turn them into an entrepreneur. That's a great achievement for me. And based on your presentation, that's what was running in my mind. And I'm happy to see you and your team have come together and you have come up with an idea. Now you know the destiny. Now it's that now you know the destiny, you will figure it out how to get there. Maybe you will go and find out some additional, either you develop your skills or you will come to me or some other mentors that I'm going to bring into this mix will help you, or you will go and find out who all can actually provide you help to get to that destiny. And trust me, as long as you have a destiny and you have an intention to get there, you will figure it out to get there. And that experience is what that I wanted you guys to earn in this process. Great work, Gautami, Priyan, and team. Awesome. Thanks a lot for your presentation.
Thank you, Kadir.
Anything else, Gautami?
No, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I would also like to thank Farhan for mentoring us through this process. Like he really supported us a lot.
This is really good. And Farhan is driving, so he could not join, but I will definitely share. Both the teams were talking very good about him. Thanks a lot. Let's move on to the third team. I know Sarah is not here. Is anyone else in the team prepared for today's session, or you need one more week to present? Anyone from Sarah?
Carter, I could present my thoughts if you want, and then we could do the team part next week.
Okay, you have a presentation or something, or?
Yeah, I have my notes. Just give me 1 second.
Yes, go ahead.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, go ahead, Vicky.
Great. It's faster, the new computer.
You bought a new computer. That's good.
Yeah, it's a 2-in-1. I'm still trying to figure out the features right now.
Okay.
So I'm just basically going to talk about mine, but we kept all ours on over here. We still have to discuss it as a team. So what we learned individual and as a team, we learned That is something you also say, Kyle. So I wrote the same word. People come and people go. And so that we know. So we decided on just keeping a small team, and then if people want to join, we'll be like okay with how think where we can fit them. Otherwise, it's just gonna be our full team. And then for me, for individuals, learning the process of the how to take an idea ahead. For other things that helped achievement as well, learning the business side. I have a background in finance, but I still need to learn not much into entrepreneurship world. So that's still something I'm learning. It's a learning project for me. And working on building with AI and cloud. And for a team, we're still working to build the product. And for the project, it's our job, like sort of like LinkedIn, it's clear site and Indeed. But we're applying more AI on it. And then for our patches, like I said before, people kept on leaving it, so we decided a small team to also, it's easy to coordinate. And then right now we're working on the ways to build the products, looking at our competitors, and we're working on researching the competitors and how to like make it works with our product and what doesn't. Our next plan for the 9 months is just to keep on working on the product, see if we can start working on developing it, and also on the business side.
Very good, very good. This is good, Mickey. So what you do is talk to Sandra to consolidate your team inputs, and maybe we will give your team another 5 minutes in our next week meeting to present your learnings. Because when you are presenting your learnings, it actually helps all of us to convince ourselves that together we are learning something, right? That's the most important thing. And I'm happy to see that all the three teams have matured to this level as an individual and also as a team. This is really a good thing that has happened to you all, and I'm glad that this has happened. So anything else, Mickey, before we jump into our next agenda? Anything else?
No, just stop sharing.
Okay, so let's spend 20 minutes to little bit learn more, something new for today. So I have lots of finance experts, right? That's amazing. So, oh, no, sorry, this is the wrong screen share. Okay, so if you look at, see, 4 things that we are going to learn, right, in this whole year. So we are still on the foundation. So after foundation, we will learn product, and then third, we will learn delta that is required for entrepreneurship, and finally we will learn innovation and pitching and all those kind of things, right? So where we are in the foundation, a lot of things that we have learned together. And today, what I plan to cover these 2 things, but I don't think I will be able to cover both, right? The basics of both foundational elements, but I'll try to see whatever that I can cover for next 20 minutes, and then we will close the session. So rest of the things we have more or less already have gone through. So I'm going to directly jump into the topic that we wanted to learn together. Okay, we learned this, we learned this, we learned this. Okay, we're going to learn this together. Okay, so the topic today that we are going to learn is decision making. So the number of topics that we have learned in the past, and one of the topic, it looks more obvious, right? Decision making is the most important thing that we need to do as a team and also as an individual, as well as a business. So decision making is something that's going to happen with us day in and day out. So if you practically see what the decision making means, right? And also what does it actually reflect to? You can read this definition, right? The heart of good decision making is agility of thought. You know, make note of the word agility. Agility of thought plus the rapid assessment of opportunities and their consequences. This is the book definition, right? So what does it mean? It basically means that the decision that you're going to make, or the art of the decision that you're going to make, or the skills that you have to make the decision is all about, right, thinking sharply and exploring the options that are out there and making one option, choosing one option and moving forward. That's what in practical way of explanation. But what you see here is the theoretical way of explanation. And now I will try to simplify that a little bit. Decision making is nothing but how we solve problems. This is easy to understand. So the top one is a complex definition, right? You have to be agile, meaning you have to be very sharp, think, oh, like this, if I do like this, what happens? Like that, what happens? Like this, what happens? And you got to be really agile, and you got to be rapid in looking at all the options. If I walk through this if I walk through this road, I will reach this destination in 5 minutes. If I walk through this road, I'll reach it in 10 minutes. But right now I need to reach in 5 minutes because I'm carrying someone who is sick and they have to be attended in the hospital. No, you know, I don't have to go that early. 10 minutes is okay, but I wanted to go safely. So let me go through that. You know, there's multiple things that you have to go through in your mind to make your decision. But however, if you look at it in a very simpler terms, decision making means all you're trying to do is you're trying to solve a problem. So you wanted to get to the destination. How do I get to the destination? How do I overcome the hurdles that's going to come throughout the path to get to the destination? And how do I solve them? So now let's relate that to all the presentations that you guys did. So in last 3 months, you all faced multiple hurdles and you solved the problems. And you found a solution, right? So that means you are already making the right decisions. Now, again, I'll go back to this explanation, right? There is nothing right or wrong. The decision making that you do, you might think it is right, but it might result in a failure. The decision making that you do, you might think it is wrong, but it might result in success. But what's important in decision making is also the continuous decision making. So you need to always continuously look at the current situation, and you have to act and adapt to make the decisions and solve the problems. Today you might solve the problems in one way, and after 5 days or 2 weeks, you will solve the problem in another way. That's what I mean by there's nothing right or wrong. You got to really look and understand the situation around you, and then you would probably do the right thing. What that particular situation demands. Okay, so now if you look at it, we all have to make the decisions, and we always have to make the decisions. Starting from simple thing, when we sleep in the night, we need to get up in the morning. We need to make a decision to open our eyes and get up from the bed. If we don't make the decision, what will happen? We make another decision, which is close the eyes and sleep for another an hour, right? So anything that we do, we have to make decisions. There is always the decisions we have to make, because there is always problems that are there to solve. So now if I have to get up in the morning 6 a.m., I have to open my eyes, because why? I have to solve the problem, because 6:15 I have to attend a meeting. So to attend the meeting, I have to get up. I can't close my eyes and sleep. That means I'm creating the problem. I will not be attending the meeting. So to solve that problem, I have to get up in the morning. So the long story short, what I'm trying to really explain to you guys is that decision making is something that we do day in and day out in our life, whether it is a personal decision, whether it is a professional decision, a job, or in your entrepreneurship journey or in your company. Decision is something that you always make. Okay, and there is no good decision or bad decision, and the decision that you make is to solve the problem given the circumstances that you are in. So that is the most important thing that I wanted you to understand about decision making. Now, when you do a decision making, you know you are trying to solve a problem. That is the first step, right? And the second step is, if you look at it in a nicer way, the last sentence that I put in, decision making is what you do when you don't know what to do. So this is what it is. If you don't know what to do, you have to make a decision to do that. Right? It's like a tongue twister, but if you look at in depth, that's what it means. Decision making is all about to decide what you want to do when you don't know what to do. That is what the decision making is all about. We all make our decisions day in and day out. So when you talk about the decision, right, you're basically, in simplest word, like I mentioned, you are trying to solve a problem. So when you are trying to solve a problem, so what do you have to do? You don't hurry up in solving the problem. So your decision making, some decision making you have to do impromptu. Like for example, when you are driving a car and you know some kid is coming in front, you have to make an impromptu decision there to stop the car and turn the car or whatever. And some cases it's positive. In some cases, to save the kid, we end up hurting ourselves. So that's fate, right? There are some impromptu decisions that you have to make, and I'm not talking about that impromptu decisions, right? I'm talking about the decisions to solve the problem, not that are impromptu decisions. So when such kind of problem comes into the table, like to take an example, Mickey was mentioning about they wanted to stick to the smaller team, right? So that problem, he tried to solve that problem. Why? Because a lot of, if they form a big team, a lot of people are coming, going, coordination is becoming difficult. Well, at that time, it was the right decision to do. But when you wanted to build a product, you need people. You just 3-4 people is not enough. You need a team of 8, 10, 12, 15, depending upon the complexity of your product or whatsoever it is. So you need to, at that time, you need to change your mind to build a bigger team. If you don't, 3-4 people will not be able to deliver the product that you wanted to build. So this is a good example to tell you guys, right? The solving the problem at different circumstances would result in different ways of finding the solution to that problem. So whenever you try to do that, there is a sequence you have to go through. It is basically a logical thing. We all do it in day in and day out. Like I said, it's not something that I'm training you, which is you don't know. But what's important is you might not be able to put that in this form. That's the only difference, right? So sometimes if you put this in this form, then it will help you to not skip few of the things that you need to do before making the decision. That's what it is. So that's what I mean by saying problem solving sequence. So when a problem comes, I recommend you guys first to observe the problem. Understand what the problem is, clarify the problem. And now when you're clarifying the problem, also understand the situation around that. It's very important. Observe what is the problem and then clarify the problem or situation. Let's take a practical example. If someone is coming in your team and then he says, someone in my team hurt me for some reason, right? Hurt me, not physical hurt, right? Made them upset and basically discouraged them, and so that person got hurt. So let's say he is coming and he is telling to Greg, who is one of the team lead now, and he's telling, hey, I got insulted and I got hurt because of that. Then Greg, what you have to do is he has to first observe, right? Observe the situation. That person who is coming and saying how sensitively it has affected him and how serious he is about that, how important that problem is for him, right? And it might be for you as a leader a simple problem. So what? but it may not be for the person who brought the problem to your table. It might be a very serious thing for him. So you have to put your shoes. You have to think like him and understand, and you have to observe the seriousness of the problem and his behavior towards the problem, his reaction towards the problem, his hurt towards the problem, his depression towards the problem, his anger towards the problem. So you have to observe that first. Then after observing, appreciating and hearing to him, right, then you start asking him slowly to clarify the problem and the situation it has happened. So when you do that, when that person says, I asked person A to help me to learn this, and then person A said, go and learn by yourself. So the person, let's say a subject who is complaining, right, who has come to you with a problem, right? Let's name him as a subject of a problem, right? So the problem subject, he felt hurt because the other person asked him to go and learn instead of the other person taking a step to teach him or her. So that's why she got hurt. So that's why she came and told you. So that's, after observing, you're actually trying to clarify the problem with her. So now you understand from her that she expected the other person will train her, but instead of other person training her, the other person asked her to go and read by herself. That's why she got hurt, for example. Now you clarified the problem. Then you identify and analyze the data. So here I'll give you the analyze the data could be that the person who told to go and learn by yourself, he probably would have said it in good intention. He would have felt that if I ask the problem subject who brought the problem to learn by herself, then she will learn and she will learn more and she will create more interest and she will become an expert. It could have been a good intention from his end to say that, right? That could be a good example. Identify and analyze the data. So now you as a leader, you observed and you understood the problem. Now you are analyzing the problem, right? And then you are going and talking to the other person and you are confirming with him, okay, he did it with a good intention or bad intention, whatever. So if it is a good intention, then what is your solution to that? Solution to that is helping the person who is hurt to explain that he did it with good intention and so on, so to convince her. If that person did it with bad intention, then you go and make sure the person who did it with the bad intention, you should not do this, you should help others and etc. etc. That is the solution for that. So you have to identify possible solutions. And after identifying the possible solutions, you also have to assess the risk. If you go and tell a person who did it with a bad intention, who did it with a good intention, he might get hurt. So you have to access the risk. And the same thing, if that person has done it with the bad intention and good intention, if you go and tell to the person who is hurt, she will think that you are supporting him, right? So there's number of small things that can come up, even though I'm explaining a problem that is a simple problem, but small thing that can, then the person who came to complain to you, brought the problem to you, she will get hurt from you. That's also bad, right? She already got hurt from someone else, knowingly or unknowingly, and she's also going to get hurt from you. Then what happens? She becomes depressed and she thinks this team is not the right team for me. She gets out of the team. So now you as a leader have to access the risk. Even when you are solving this problem, you have to access the risk. What is the risk of the problem that I am trying to solve? Sometimes it's better not to solve the problem and then just keep quiet. That is also a solution to the problem, right? So you need to access the risk. It is very, very important. Then you need to find the ways to mitigate it. Maybe you can call her and have one-to-one discussion. Maybe you can bring all the three of them together and openly discuss, That's what is mitigation. Sometimes you might have a solution, but you can't really solve it unless you access the risk and you can mitigate that risk, and then you get the outcome, which is when the actual problem is actually solved. So these are all the steps. I tried to explain with a practical example. Maybe the example that I gave may not be the best example, but I'm sure that you get the point. Observe the problem first. Understand the problem. Clarify and understand the problem. Then identify the potential, identify and analyze the data, and then identify potential solutions. Once you have a solution, don't think you have a solution. It may not be. You assess the risk of your solution, plan a mitigation plan, and then solve the problem with an outcome. So these are all the steps that I wanted you guys to, maybe you can write it down, and any problems comes in your team, whether it is a coding problem, whether it is an idea problem, or any problem comes into your team, every one of you go through this step. You all will become a leader and you will make sure you are making the decision right for that particular circumstances. Maybe the same decision, like I said, you might make it differently after 1 month, after 2 weeks, after 2 days, depending upon that circumstance, right? But nevertheless, when you are trying to solve a problem, given the current circumstance, go through these 7 steps to make sure that you are doing it right, whether it is personal or professional. Otherwise, you will kind of hurt yourself, hurt others, and instead of solving a problem, you will create more problems. Just keep that in your mind, okay? So now I wanted to give you guys some exercise, right? But I'll explain you at a very high level what it is. So the top one is the problem solving sequence. So when problem comes, you have to go through this 7 steps to solve that problem. Now, in order to solve the problem, you have to go through these 7 steps, but you can use some tools and techniques to achieve these 7 steps, right? Now, let me give you some examples at a very high level, but I wanted you to research and learn this by yourself without getting hurt, okay? So the first one is combining options. Let's say, for example, you have a problem, okay? Let's say a problem is, I want to go to this destination by a car, okay? And you can also go to the destination by a public transport. Now you are family. Now a car can carry only 4 people and you are a family of 8 members. So you can either make a decision to do 2 trips in the car, or you can make a decision 4 people will go in car, another 4 people will go in the public transportation and reach the destination. So combining the options, as long as it does not overlap with one another. So this is called as a combining option. This is one of the technique. You have problems to solve. You have two things to do. Both the things can I do it together? But sometimes what happens is you have to analyze the risk. What is the cost? And many things that you need to analyze. But at a very high level, that's what it is. You have a decision to make. A, B. You don't make a decision A or B, but rather do both A and B. That's what is combining options. And then the next one is decision matrix. So what does it mean is you can actually do a weight. You can say, if I go by bus, if I go by car, if I go by walking, if I go by this, it's going to take time, and time is the precious one. And I'm going to do a weight for each of these things. You can put some number 10, 20, 30, 40. And sometimes you put all these different decisions you need to make. Let's say you have to make 50 decisions. Each decision you put some weight to it, and depending upon the scenario, you put all the numbers and add up whichever is the more number, then you'll say, okay, I'll make this decision. These are all some techniques. Decision matrix is one of the techniques. Normally, it's like a scoring and ranking type of making the decision, numerical way of making the decision. Decision tree is simple. It's like if and else branch. So I got up and I need to wear formal dress or a casual dress? Oh, I'm going for a business meeting. Let me wear a formal dress. Okay, good. Now I wore a formal dress. Do I wear a tie? Or I don't know. Don't wear a tie. Well, this is like a formal but casual formal. I don't need a tie. Okay, go. Then do I need to go by car or do I? So you see what I mean. So decision tree is like if else you go from branch to leaf to branch, smaller branch, and then finally you make your decision. So in order for you to do something like that, you basically create this decision tree and then you blindly go through this and then you make your decision. The fourth one is easy, gut feeling. You don't do anything else. Say, hey, you know what? This is what I think is going to happen. Let's move forward. Gut feeling. And the last one is nowadays business intelligence, artificial intelligence, data analytics, a lot of things that you do to make your decision. So these are all the decisions are also there. Okay, but these are all the 5 examples that I want to give as some of the tools and techniques that can help you to make decisions. Go through the problem solving sequence to get to the outcome. So the idea of today is to explain you what is decision making. I'll summarize this and we'll close the call. Decision making is something, it's nothing but solving the problems. And we do it in day in and day out in our life. But what we don't do is we probably take most of the decisions impromptu, but we don't give it a thought. So the lesson that I wanted to tell you guys today, number 1 is you need to give a thought and answer yourself these 6 points before you make a decision. Then you will make a better decision. That's my first message to you for today. And then when you go through this problem solving sequence, what will happen is you need to sometimes have to look at some tools and techniques to make your decisions. Right? So like, for example, just to give you an example to close on that. So clarify the problem, the person who said it for the good and who said it for the bad. There's two ways, 2 reasons he could have said it, right? When you are analyzing the data. Now you can say if that person is Khader, he would always do it with the bad intention. If the person is Mickey, he will always do it with good intention. So now Khader, you can put 20 marks. Mickey, you can put 40 marks. And if the person is Mickey is actually hurt person, the person who came and complained, right? If he thinks the Mickey is hurt that person, that means the probability of Mickey hurting that person is very low. So see the marks. If it is Mickey, well, it's not Mickey's mistake. So I can confidently go and tell this person who came and complained, Mickey is not like that guy. You see, that's what is the score matrix, right? So then the same thing, decision tree. If Mickey, he would not have done it. If Khader, oh, he's a bad guy, he would have done it. So these are all the tools as an example, which allow you to traverse through the problem solving sequence to get you to the outcome. But this problem solving sequence will remain as these 7 steps. So the final takeaway message for you guys is whenever you need to make a decision, please remember these 6 steps. Observe, make sure you're not going to hurt the subject that is in front of you. Understand clearly the problem from them. Analyze the data with all the subjects involved. Identify the solutions and immediately don't solve the problem once you have a solution. Explore, if I solve the problem with this solution, is there any risks for me? Try to mitigate that. Then you solve the problem. Remember this as my example. Okay, so that's what I wanted to teach you guys today. And why I wanted to teach you is because now you are getting into the stage of making decisions, right? So always make yourself, as a team, as an individual, to go through these 7 steps to make your decision moving forward. When you do this practically within your team, you will learn more and more, and we can move forward with better outcome. All right. So did we learn something today, please? Did we learn something today? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, Kader.
Yes, Kader.
Yes.
Thanks, Kader.
Yes,
So,
we did.
takeaway, please go back and read those 2 slides. You know where it has been stored. For those who don't know where it is being stored, send your email address, first name, last name. We will add you into the teams. I think a couple of people are new, and then you can meet with one of these leaders and the team members in our session. They will guide you through where the document is. Go through and read those 2 slides. Even though it is just 2 slides that I spent 20 minutes, it's very powerful. And if you use it practically in what you're doing, it's going to really help you guys a lot. Okay. And in the next session, what we are going to do is I'm going to teach something outside of tech. I'm going to teach basics of finance next week. And why? Because you as an entrepreneur, you as a product manager, you need to, the product owner and intrapreneur, you need to know something that is very basic in finance. Right? And what is that basic? I'm not going to explain you big things, but very basic things I'm going to explain you in our next session, which is going to help you to think a little bit differently than what you have been thinking throughout. Okay, so having said that, let's close the session for today. And those who have questions, you can stay back and ask me questions. Those who do not have questions, you can leave. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend. I believe it's a good weather. So, and you know, we are all on lockdown. If you are in Ontario, you want to go out, but stay safe and play safe. And also those who are going to attend tomorrow's artificial intelligence sessions, I will see you guys there. And those who have not registered for the artificial intelligence session, you can go to the Eventbrite and register it for them. Any questions from anyone?
Hello, Kader.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know whether it is a good because it actually it's a really wonderful presentation of a one slide. That slide is very amazing. But I have a question.
Go ahead.
Like decision making, sometimes we are in a situation where we need to take decision very quickly. So this is a 7-step process. So how can we take a quick decision?
Yeah, so impromptu, I explained when I was explaining, I said it's not applicable for impromptu decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Impromptu means immediate decisions. Like, for example, when you're driving a car, this was the example I gave. If some kid comes in the front, you can't go through the 7 steps,
Yeah.
right? So you can do it. But in the professional life, right, you can always do it. You don't have to take a decision immediately tomorrow, no. Right? Immediately now. You don't take decisions like that in your professional life, in your entrepreneurship life, your intrapreneurship life. You can go through this process to analyze and make sure that you make the right decision. Okay?
Yeah.
But if you have a practical example, then I can give you with that example, right? But in general, answer to your question is, even though that 7 step is a little bit heavy, very simple, Pankaj. Listen, listen, listen. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Listen. It's easy to say, but it's very difficult to listen. So one thing that I would give you as a takeaway is listen, then you would automatically solve the problems. If you don't listen, you will not end up solving the problems. You will end up creating problems.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions from anyone? All right. So you guys have a wonderful weekend. Like I said, see you guys tomorrow in artificial intelligence session. I'm excited to learn myself in that session. See you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Kader. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Gadir. Bye.
Right.
Bye.
I
Have a
got it.
great weekend, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.